So what did they say? What did they say? Everybody, it's time. It's that time. Brother Steve with another resource weekend, resource day. That's what we say, y'all. That's right. Come on in the room. Come on in this room today. We got something good. We got some hot. We want to give people time to log in. We got some new resources. We got some tools. And we're going to give y'all a little time to get connected to what we doing and what we got going on so y'all can start logging in to the room right now. It's 6 o'clock in Los Angeles, California. And those of you out there on the East Coast, how you doing? How you feel? How's your day going? I need you to share this video. Share this video. Share this video. This video is going to be so deep. It's going to be so good. I need you to share this video. I'm about to share it myself. I'm about to share this video myself. We want y'all to just come on in. Get connected, share the video to everybody out there watching. This is going to be some deep stuff. This is going to be heavy. We're going to talk about what we're going to talk about. We're going to make sure you know what's going on. We're going to make sure you know what's happening. Get everybody in the room. We got some people coming in the room. We got some people coming on in the room. And we want to make sure that you share this video and get yourself connected to what we have and what's going on. It's that time of the day, and we want y'all to just be connected to what's going on. We're coming to you live from Hollywood, California. That's right. It is hot today. Yes, it is. It's hot today. It's about 90 degrees out here today, and we've got a great person we're going to talk to, and we're going to interview on today. He's going to tell the facts. This ain't no fake news, y'all. This is the real deal. This is what's really going on. You're going to find out all that stuff out today. We're going to talk about all that stuff today. So I need y'all to come on in right now. We got people watching on Facebook. We got people watching on YouTube. Come on in. And then Joe is going to connect with us, and we're going to get Joe connected so we can watch what's happening and what's going on and get people tuned in to what's happening. Guess what, everybody? Don't forget to stay tuned and stay in touch. And Joe is in the waiting room right now. I know, Joe, you can hear me out there in the waiting room. Did you get the link, Joe? Did you get the link? All right. We about to go on there. I put it on Joe's page, and we're going to get y'all to come on in and hear this true testimony of what's really going on. Brother Steve's annual resource week. We got some resources out there. If you share the video, you may get a prize. If you share the video, you just may get a prize. Brother Steve's annual resource week out there. So I want to make sure that you are connected to everything we're doing and what we got going on. Stay connected, get tuned in. Let's make sure everybody's happening. Everybody's great. Now, let me say this during this particular broadcast. If you would be so kind, I'm just asking if I can get just a couple of my friends to just sow a seed, share a gift to help us keep this ministry going. Sow a seed, share a gift, help us keep this ministry going. If you can just sow just a $5 seed into our Cash App, because guess what? We bless others. When you bless us, we pass it on. We pay it forward. We bless others, okay? We bless some people today. We're going to bless some more people this evening. So if you can just sow a seed, a little $5 gift to Cash App. It ain't because Steve needs some Cash App chips. Well, I'm going to take $5 for myself, but we're going to bless some other folks with some good stuff and keep you tuned in and to what's happening. We're going to find out the real story. Now, my friend made it. He survived, and a lot of great things are going on. Share this story. Share what's going on. He made it. He survived, y'all. He made it, and he survived. I need y'all to share this video, okay? We're going to talk to my good friend, super producer himself, Joe Smith. Joe Smith himself. Brother Steve's going to talk to super producer Joe Smith, and I will be right back to talk to my main man, Joe Smith. He made it. He survived. But in the meantime, share this video. I'll be right back right after this.
From Hollywood,
yo, DJ, are you done mixing yet?
Your DJ has only just begun.
Hello, I'm Bishop T.D. Jakes, and you're watching Brother Steve TV.
Hey, it's Latoya Luckett, and you're watching Brother Steve TV.
This is Rance Allen, and you're watching my friend, Brother Steve TV.
Hey, y'all, this is Leandra Johnson, and you're watching Brother Steve TV.
Hi, this is Rodney Darkchild Jerkin. This is Chris Tucker. This is Kirk Franklin. And you are watching Brother Steve. And you're watching Brother Steve. Brother Steve TV. Stay tuned.
From Hollywood, California, you're watching Brother Steve TV.
Hands up! LA! Scream!
Woo! Brother Steve is live right here in Hollywood, California. It's about 91 degrees outside, and we're so glad that you took the time out to join us. Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend, my special guest, the one and only Mr. Joe Smith. Y'all thought Joe wasn't here. Y'all thought Joe wasn't here. Y'all was on Facebook, Bookface, whatever, praying for Joe and carrying on for Joe. And y'all thought Joe wasn't here. But ladies and gentlemen, I got the one and only Joe Smith here with me right now. Joe Smith, you are here now. Joe, tell us, welcome home. Welcome back.
Thank you, brother.
Welcome, Joe Smith. How you doing, Doc?
I'm doing incredible, man. I'm blessed. How you doing, bro, Steve?
Joe, when you say you are blessed, Doc, you meant that thing. You is blessed. I want to say hello to all of our followers, all our friends on Joe's page. How you doing out there, Joe Smith? We're so glad to have you, Doc. Let's talk about what happened. We got a short time. We only got 1 hour and 45 minutes. Okay, Joe. Joe, we gonna make some fun of it tonight, Joe. We got to come on and get the encouragements.
Yeah.
Because people is tripping. This ain't fake news. This is real, Brother Steve. We got to give some encouragement to what's going on. This is some real stuff. People hard-headed. I told them, I ain't going out the house. When they lift this thing, I'm going to still be in the house. I'm going to be like the groundhog. We're going to look both ways. They're like, all right, okay, we clear. Hold on. We not doing all that. And then somebody talked to me the other day while I was on the phone. And they was talking. They said, "Okay, bro." I said, "Hold on, let me sanitize my phone. Hold on 1 second. Watch out now, Joe Smith. Tell us your testimony." Joe Smith is the survivor. He's one of thousands. Thank you. So Joe Smith just sent me a donation. Thank y'all so much for sowing this seed into. Woo! Thank y'all. So that's my happy song. If y'all can throw a seed into my ministry, just help us, brother, out with a $5 gift, because we're going to ask, because we want to help bless some people. We're going to bless some people tonight. Either way it goes. Yes, tell us what happened, Joe, because we're going to get into the ventilator, the intensive care. Joe, when did you recognize that you had the coronavirus?
Well, you know what? It had started a couple of weeks before I actually went in the hospital. It started with just a minor cough, nothing to write home about. Then about a week after the little cough, I got a fever, and that fever wouldn't break. You know, it was like 100, 101. You know, it was hovering around in there, and I was taking Tylenol. It would knock it down, then it would shoot right back up. You know, so this went on for about a week, and at that time, if you didn't have at least 3 of the symptoms, and the main symptoms were fever, cough, and shortness of breath, you couldn't even get tested for corona. So I went to the hospital once and, sat in the car, and they, take your vitals and stuff like that. She was like, well, if all you got is a fever, we can't test you. So she gave me some Tylenol, sent me back home. So fast forward about a week after that, I was getting worse and worse and worse. But it just finally got bad to the point to where I literally couldn't say 2 words without breaking out into a cough. Just uncontrollable cough.
So were you at home, right, Joe? Or
yeah, I was at home.
At home. You're at home by yourself, getting your business. You're home by yourself, Joe.
Yeah, well, my sister was there.
Okay.
So she was there with me.
So you like, this ain't right. I mean, were you having problems at night prior to this or what?
I was okay at night, but every now and then I would just start coughing and couldn't stop, and then it would finally subside. Then I'll go back to sleep. But that wouldn't happen all the time. So I feel like that was when it was getting there. It was getting worse. And so by the time I actually went to the hospital, it was to the point to where, like I said, I was coughing. My fever had shot up to 103. And I was breathing like this, like fast, like just trying to get enough air. I wasn't even realizing I was doing it. A friend of mine was like, look at your stomach, because, when you breathe, your stomach's going up and down, and I'm just like panting, and so my sister, and everybody was like, you need to go to the hospital, so this time when I went, they were like, oh yeah. They swabbed me, they took my vitals, and next thing I know, they were bringing the wheelchair out to wheel me into the building.
Wow.
And, yeah. And so they immediately put me on oxygen. I mean, it was so bad to where when I was on my way to the hospital, I had the window down, just trying to get enough oxygen, to be able to breathe. And when they were asking me, when they were triaging me and asking me, what's your name, what's your this, what's your that, like I couldn't even answer their questions. If I opened my mouth to say anything, I just started coughing.
No.
So it was bad. So they brought me into emergency.
So they know the second time you went, they know these are all the vital signs. This is the real deal.
Yeah. Yep. I had all the symptoms.
And you located where, Joe?
I'm in Detroit, Michigan.
All right, we just let everybody know he's in one of the epicenters in Detroit.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, we got hit hard. And so I went into the emergency, and they, triaged me and brought me in. And so they immediately brought the X-ray machine in the room, to do an X-ray on my lungs and put me on oxygen. They had me on I think it's called a rebreather, the big oxygen mask. And they had it on the highest setting it could go. The nurse told me that. He was like, yeah. He's like, we're going to switch you to the little tubes in your nose in a minute. He's like, because what we have you on right now is like our highest level of oxygen we can give you. And I'm like, no, leave it right here. Leave it right here, because I can breathe now. And so so when they switched me, they took the mask off and put the little tube and then go in your nostrils. And I was having trouble breathing again. So when the nurse came back in, she was like, are you okay? And I was like, I'm not breathing as well with this as I was. I need the rebreather again. So that's how bad it was. So they finally got me admitted to a room, and up to a room. They said they were going to keep me, and they were watching me to see if it was going to keep getting worse, because my oxygen levels were dropping. And so I told them when they came in my room, I think Sunday night or Monday morning, because I went to the hospital on a Sunday.
Right.
And they came in my room, and they were like, we're just watching you to see if we're going to have to put you on a ventilator. And it looks like it's going that way, but we don't want to do that. But we're watching, but your oxygen levels are dropping. And so I told them, and I know some people might think I'm crazy when I say this. I told them, I said, well, if it's heading that way, just go ahead and put me on a ventilator.
Right.
I was like, let's get it out of the way. That was my attitude. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Let's get it out of the way. Put me on the ventilator. Let's go. Let's do it.
So you almost kind of like pre-saved your own life and not waiting for the hospital.
Yes. Yes. And I don't know, all I can say, it was the Holy Spirit that even gave me the insight to even say that. But, it was like later on, they said that that's what helped save my life, because I didn't wait until I deteriorated so far that they had to put me on the ventilator to keep me from dying. So, they were like, we're going to put you under, and, they told me what the whole process was. I was like, okay, cool. I was already IV'd up. So they just put it in your IV. And the next thing I know, I was out of there. I was unconscious, and when I woke up again, it was Thursday, like Wednesday night, Thursday morning, like midnight kind of time, I believe. And I had been on the ventilator.
How long were you on it? Like 3 days or?
Yeah. Yep. Like 3 days. And
what did it feel like? Let's talk about what people think it's just an oxygen thing with the ears and the hoop. What did it really feel like?
Well, no, they intubate you. So I was intubated. I had the tube in my mouth, down my throat, into my chest. But I didn't feel any of it. I was unconscious. They put you to sleep. So I don't remember anything about actually being on the ventilator because I was asleep. So that's what I was saying. When they put me under on Monday, when I woke up again, it was Thursday.
Let me say this real quick. If you want to give some comments live on the screen right now, you can post your comments on us and we'll put your name and your information up there. We want to say hello to Adrian B. King. We're going to be reaching out to him. You see that, Joe? He said, hey, man, Joe, sounds identical to his story.
What's up, Adrian?
Hey, so we want to say that some Facebook people are hitting us up right now. We want to say hello to Tasha Porter out there, Tasha Potter out there. Share this live interview. Share this video. You can post your comments right now to me right here, Brother Steve. We want all of the prayer warriors out there for Joe. Send me your comments right now. Let's go live. Let's keep posting your comments and let's see what's going on. So, Joe, you said you never felt, you didn't feel nothing.
No.
And so for 3 days, you was just out of it.
Yep. Yeah. When I woke up, when they brought me from under, I was in ICU. They had removed the ventilator and I was on oxygen. I had both. I had the tube up my nose and the mask over my face. So they gave me both. I was hooked up to all types of machines. It was something around my leg. They kept squeezing my leg, and something around my arm that was taking my blood pressure. And, I had a stent in, so I was all hooked up. I was all hooked up. That part was uncomfortable because you're just laying there and they're coming in and checking on you maybe every hour. So here's a funny part.
Yeah.
When you're put under and they bring you back from under, you have what's called delirium. And so delirium is you're awake and you're conscious of everything, but you're a little loopy. Like so when they come in your room, they ask you, do you know your name? Right. Do you know what month it is? Do you know what year it is? Do you know where you're at? Do you know who the president of the United States is? So for about the first day, every time they came in my room, I would fail all those. I would fail miserably. They'd be like, do you know your name? I'd be like, yes. They'd be like, okay, what is it? I'm like, Joe, do you know where you are? The hospital. That's all I could get. Which hospital? I'm like, I don't know. And then they'd be like, do you know what year it is? And I'd be like, 2019? They'd be like, no, it's 2020. Do you know who the president of the United States is? I was like, Obama? And it's frustrating because you really don't know. You're really out of it. Yeah. And so it took about a day for that to wear off. So as they were coming in my room throughout the day and throughout the night, the answer started getting a little better. I started getting a little clearer. Yeah.
So Joe, at what point did it really hit you? Because from what you're sharing the story right now, all this is happening quick and it's fast. So at what point did it hit you that I got the virus? What point was it, like when you drove yourself to the hospital, or when you were saying, put me on it, when you woke up and you was on the ventilator and it was just doing this job?
It was when I went to the hospital. I knew on my way to the hospital, I'm like, if this ain't coronavirus, then I don't know what it is. So when I got to that point to where normally I would have just been like, when they said you need to go to the hospital, I would have been like, no, I'll be all right. I'll be okay. I'll just keep taking, because I was taking vitamin C. I was taking this, taking that. I was taking all kinds of stuff. And so, but when that Sunday, when they said you need to go to the hospital, or do you want to go to the hospital? I was like, yeah, let's do this. Because this is not getting any better. It's getting worse. I mean, I woke up that Sunday, I was terrible. So that's what I knew then. Something wasn't right.
What did it feel like when you woke up with the ventilator going inside your body and you like realize I'm here? And because I'm going somewhere with this question. What did that feel like that you looked around the room? You're still kind of out of it, like Adrian said. You're hallucinating. What did it feel like? What was going through your head? That whoa.
So like I said, ventilator part, I missed all of that. They put you unconscious. They give you, I think what it's called, propofol or propofol or something. That's the stuff Michael Jackson had.
Yeah, we know about that pill.
Yeah. They put that. That's what they give you when they do surgery on you. So I was out for 3 days. I didn't hear nothing. I didn't feel nothing. As a matter of fact, when I woke up in ICU, I didn't even realize that they had put me on the ventilator. I was like, oh, I guess they ain't gonna put me on the ventilator. And then I had to think, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm missing some days. I'm like, it's Friday.
Wow.
And I know I went to the hospital on Sunday. I'm like, so I'm missing about 3-4 days. But when I woke up in ICU, I just had the oxygen mask on, and I wasn't afraid. I had, my faith was strong, and that's how I know, being taught, the teaching I received at my home church from my shout out to Great Faith Ministries and Apostle Wayne T. Jackson. That's my spiritual father. And he's a strong, and Dr. Beverly Jackson. They teach faith so strong. And so I had faith in me, and then so many people were praying. It was like ridiculous. Like people I didn't even know personally were praying, like friends of friends. Wow. And relatives of friends. Like everybody was praying. And I really felt those prayers because I felt that sense of faith and knowing that everything's going to be okay. I felt that even in the ICU, even with a mask over my face, even with all kinds of tubes and stuff beeping and going off all around me, I knew everything was going to be okay.
Joe, was it a moment in one of those nights at like 2 a.m., the devil started speaking to you around 2 o'clock and 3 in the morning? Was there a moment, and everybody right now, I need 4 people to share this video right now. If you're watching us right now, I need 4 people to just share this video. Share this video. We need to get this word out. We need to encourage some families that's going through this right now. Share this video. Yeah. I need 4 people, man. Let's make 5. I need 5 people just to share this. Just share this video. Share this information. Go back and rewatch it again. Joe, at what point in the midnight hour, you know how we always sing it in gospel. Now, people don't know who you really are. This is super producer Joe Smith himself. All the mega hits, Dorinda, the list goes on and on. But Joe, at what point did you wake up and you say, God, I may not make it? Did you have that come to Jesus moment in the hospital?
Yes. Before I went on the ventilator, I had, because I was trying not to listen to too much of the news.
Yeah.
Because they were reporting so heavily on how many people had died and this and that and the other. I didn't want to get that in my spirit.
Okay.
But when I was in the hospital and they were talking about me going on the ventilator, the devil did creep in my head, like, people dying from that, people going on that ventilator and they ain't making it, and so I had to quickly dismiss that. And I didn't, and so even after I got out of ICU,
right,
and I was in my room in the hospital, I didn't watch, too much of the news, because all they were talking about was how many people died in Italy, how many people are dying in the United States, how many people died in New York. They putting the bodies in freezers and stuff. I didn't want to get that in my spirit.
You right there with it. just got off the ventilator in the hospital.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm watching other stuff. Let me watch me a movie. I was watching Hobbs and Shaw and all kind of stuff. The first 48.
Joe, what I know Facebook, social media, your cell phone, I was able to talk to you and reach out to you while you were there. What part of that social media really got you through? I mean, what you can really say it pulled you up? I mean, what part of that social media experience really pulled you through? Everybody, we need 3 people to share this video right now. Just share this video. Let's get this word out. Joe, what part of that social media experience? And if you want to send us a comment right now. We're going to keep Joe lifted up. We're going to keep him encouraged as well. What point of that social media experience just lifted you up when you was having a moment, Joe?
Yeah. Well,
I was feeling. You and I had talked while you were there, so I was feeling for you, Joe. I'm like, man, who gonna shave Joe today? So y'all was feeling for you, Joe. So talk about that, Joe.
Man, when I came out of the hospital, I had a whole little mini fro. I had to get myself back together. But yeah, you know what? I was on social media very sparingly.
Mm-hmm.
I was on because for a few days I didn't even have my phone. And so when I finally got a hold of my phone and I just saw all of the messages and all of the inboxes and all of my text messages and just, I mean, people I hadn't heard from in years were like, I'm praying for you. You know, I got you. You healed in Jesus' name. Like it was very encouraging, you know, and even though I felt that way anyway, I didn't allow myself to get all down and discouraged and worried. I didn't stay there. You know, that was a passing thing. You know, it came and it was like, it went. But all the outpouring of faith and prayers, it definitely, I felt it. I felt it. I felt the undergirding of it. And it helped, you know, get me through.
What does undergirding mean? That's a church word. What does undergirding mean, Joe? Come on, Joe.
Like the support. Like I felt it up under me, holding me up.
Joe, now I'm gonna go here real quick, and then we're gonna get ready to go because we don't want to take up a lot of time. We want you to continue to rest and keep recovering. Joe, tell us about some of the hits and music and the artists you've worked for, you've produced for, and then I'm gonna go somewhere else with that. Tell us about that, Joe.
Probably the biggest and some of the ones that I'm most proud of is I've been music director for the Clark Sisters. I was their music director for about 4 years. And then I've been Dorinda Clark Cole's music director since 2003. So that's 17 years.
Yeah.
And I've literally traveled the world with her during preaching dates and singing dates. Concerts, and we've ministered everywhere, and I've written songs on her albums.
Remember the recording we did in Atlanta, Joe?
Yes.
Live in Atlanta.
Yes.
Live in Atlanta. So, Joe, the reason I asked you that, in that midnight hour, Joe, none of that meant anything. Tell me about, so we can encourage somebody. When you evaluate, Joe, you know, I've been there. I was in the hospital 40 years ago. So I'm celebrating, I think, 40 years anniversary for my surgeries. And at certain points of time, you get in life where none of that's important. None of that doesn't mean right now. You just want to breathe. You just want to live. You want to be able to get up and walk from here to the kitchen and come back, Joe. Tell me about that. So all the big hits you produced, the royalties, and hey, Joe, we got a session and we're doing it. None of that. Tell me about that so we can encourage somebody else.
No, I wasn't thinking about any of that. You know, and God has blessed me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Dorinda, Clark Sisters, Karen, Fred Hammond, you know, Vicky Winans, like all these people I've worked with. And, you know, God has blessed me that I've produced, you know, 4 stage plays that were major stage plays here in Detroit. Doing films, like I'm got my hands in a lot of stuff. I'm respected, very well respected everywhere I go. And I thank God for that. I say that humbly. I don't say that arrogantly at all. You know, I flow in a lot of circles, not just the church circle, you know, and when that thing hit me, I didn't care about any of that. I wasn't thinking about any of that. I wasn't thinking about status or money or, you know, the next gig or the next stage play, or I wasn't thinking about any of that. I was thinking about, God, I need you to heal my body, you know. And like you said, you know, even after you get discharged from the hospital, you have to get your lung capacity back. 3 weeks ago, I couldn't talk like this. Like, I would be tired by now. Just talking made me tired. I would have to go lay down. If I had a short conversation with somebody, I had to go take a nap. I was winded. Just getting up to go to the bathroom and going back to my room, I would be winded. I would be tired. So when you're in that state, nothing else matters. No status. You know, I would see people on social media and they mad about because church, they can't go to church. I'm like, I ain't thinking about no church. I just want to get healed. And I got my word in here. I got my praise and worship in here. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have church right in here, laying on this bed, resting.
So did any of your own songs encourage you?
Yes. So I wrote a song 10 years ago. I had a very, he was my production partner.
Mm-hmm.
He passed away. He had an asthma attack.
Okay. And
died. And so I wrote a song dedicated to him called Every Breath I Take.
Whew.
And the hooks, the vamp is, every breath I take is because of your grace. So I thank you for this day because you didn't have to let me live. And I didn't realize how applicable that song would be to me.
Wow.
You know, and so the theme of the song is, we want God's blessings. We want God's mercy. We want God's grace. Just the fact that you could take your next breath is God's blessings. You know, I mean, you got to think about, this man passed away trying to take his next breath. Yeah. And then a year ago, we had another musician here. He was a very big musician, played for Ricky Dillard, stuff like that here in Detroit. He passed away from an asthma attack.
Wow.
And so just the thought of somebody breathing, because we take our breath for granted, because we do it involuntarily. We're not even thinking about that we're breathing.
Right.
But you think about it when you can't. You think about it when you can't. And to think at some point they took their last breath. It was like, you got one more and then that's it.
Wow.
You know, and so, yes, that song ministered to me. Every breath I take is because of your grace. So, God, I thank you for this day because you didn't have to let me live.
Wow. Joe, we're getting ready to wrap this up because I know I got to stop talking because I can talk another half an hour. And I know I don't want to push you, Joe, but we're going to talk about that quick story real quick.
Yeah, I'm good.
About when you went from ICU, you know how we talked about that. They took you from ICU to regular room, and you like, can a brother up here get a pitcher of water? And you like, that's 2 hours.
Yeah, because look, man, I was spoiled. They spoiled me in the ICU because in the ICU, they check on you like every 30 minutes or so. They were coming in the room. And, you know, is there anything you need? And I'm like, yeah, can I get some ice water? You know, and I kept getting in trouble in the ICU too because I kept taking my oxygen mask off.
Yeah.
So if I said I wanted water, they come right back with two things, them styrofoam cups of water.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, that's the life. They put me up in that regular room. Them nurses up there busy. They got stuff to do. I pushed the button. So when the nurse came in to check on me, he said, is there anything I can get you? I said, yeah, can I get some ice water? So he left. An hour went by. And then another hour went by. And then I hit the button and they come over the speaker. They're like, can we help you? And I was like, yeah, I'm waiting on some ice water. Like, okay, yeah, we'll have the nurse bring it when they come back around for their rounds.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. I'm like, what's taking so long? They spoiled me in the ICU, bro. when that next morning I asked the nurse, I said, what took so long? And they were like, we're really busy up here. And shout out to all the hospital workers.
Give a shout out to the people on the front line.
Doctors, nurses, aides,
hospital.
Everybody. Henry Ford Macomb Hospital. They took excellent care of me. And the reason why I went to that hospital is because I passed by like 3 or 4 hospitals to get to that one here in Detroit. And I went to that one because all the other hospitals were overrun. And they were like packed, they were crowded. And so I went to one way, 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 way out in the suburbs, and they were busy, but they weren't overrun and they weren't overcrowded. But the doctors and the nurses aides and everybody, all those workers, when they would come in my room, sometimes they would be stressed out, like, wow, we had a long night. And so I would just encourage them. I would crack jokes with them. I would make them laugh, or I would just tell them, have a good shift, stay safe. Or if they did anything for me, gave me a blanket, I'd be like, thank you so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to keep them encouraged because I realized like they were going through, but they stood strong. I give my hats off go to them.
I love that water story. Joe, what words of encouragement do you want to say right now to somebody watching this who's recovering, or somebody who may have just gotten diagnosed? What do you want to say right into that camera to the people right now who may be going through what they're going through?
The nurse told me that only myself and one other person came off the vent and survived. The ventilator has an 80% survival rate. 80% not surviving. Okay, so only 20% survive on the ventilator. And yet here I am. So when you're tempted to look at the news and the death toll and all of that, look at me. I'm still recovering and getting stronger, but I'm here. As you can see, got all my faculties. I ain't crazy. I ain't loopy, and God is a healer.
Joe, you lost 3 pounds too, Joe. You lost 3 pounds.
Oh man, that was the other good. That was the blessing. I lost some weight now. Some weight I had been trying to lose. Now I didn't want to necessarily lose it like that, but God saw fit. So
yes, sir.
So now I'm gonna stay fit.
Yes, sir.
But just look at me as an encouragement and as a testimony of what God can do. And don't let the devil get in your head. God can bring you out. I don't care if nobody had made it off the ventilator. I know I would have, because that's the faith that I had in my God.
And that means you got more work to do, Joe. You got a lot of more
Absolutely.
Work. I know your music, your song's going to go to a whole nother level. Joe, thank you so very much. Everybody, this has been a blessing to interview my dear friend. Joe and I have been working together for many, many, many years. And if you want to know Joe, and Joe, we cut up. When we on set, we doing those recordings. I don't care where we are, Joe. We could be at the park. We're going to cut up.
Yeah.
Joe, I'm so glad to have you here. My family was impacted with the coronavirus with my cousins in Detroit as well. And, we lost my cousin, and then my other one got infected. But Joe, when I see you, it just encourages me, and they're all doing well. They're great. I know one of our friends, Sister Carmen out there, she had a family member that has recovered. We want to send this out, send this to the news media that they are recovered. They're showing all these stories. And I told people, I said, the reason why the numbers are going up of more people infected is because they're testing more people. When this first came out, they had no test.
Right. You couldn't get tested.
You couldn't get tested.
Yeah. If you weren't almost about to die, you couldn't get tested.
You couldn't get tested. So,
and you know what? It was funny you mentioned that, because that was one of the things that I even before I went in the hospital, I kept thinking, why are they reporting so much on the deaths, but they're not reporting on all the people that are recovering from it? Like why they not talking about the recoveries? Because there were some, but it was real low key and hush hush. And when I went in the hospital, that's what I held on to.
Wow.
That this is not a death sentence.
Millions didn't make it, but I know Joe was one of the ones who did.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Joe, thank you so much. I'm going to let you say the final word on this piece, and I'll come close it out. What do you want to say, Joe, to everybody out there watching? Give out your thanks right now. And there's your email, joesmithmedia1@gmail.com. Follow him on Instagram. Don't forget, if you want to be a blessing to our ministry, just sow a seed of $5. Now, those who sow a seed of $5 to our ministry, we're going to be a nice little blessing to you, greater than $5. Joe, what words you want to say to people right there watching us right now before we close out our broadcast?
I just want to say to everybody, just be encouraged and stand strong in your faith, and please stay in the house. Stop trying to go out if you don't have to go out. Stay home. Follow the directions of the people that's trying to keep you safe.
Wow.
At the bus.
Joe, we appreciate that. Take this video, share it, rerun with some friends. Give me some hearts. Let me see some hearts. Thank y'all so very much. Joe, thanks a lot, Doc. I'm glad you're doing well. I kept you talking for literally almost an hour, and you doing good, Joe. A couple of weeks ago, you couldn't talk 10 minutes, Joe. And I'm grateful. This is a living. So when they give you all these numbers, these statistics, show this video. Share this video. Encourage people. Now, always we have our prayers with the ones who have transitioned on. So we're praying for those families. I'm still calling people just to check on them, just to say hello. How you doing? Are you okay? Just give you one encouragement. So check on folks and check on our seniors out there. Check on the saints.
Yeah.
And and as I always say on my broadcast every day around the world, this has not caught God off guard. He know what he's doing. If you want to take advantage of this time to write a book or do something, clean your nasty house, clean up that stuff, clean up, do something creative, then my father preached a message. That's on you. So take advantage of this time now. I miss church so much. I wanted to go kiss the pews the other day. I missed church so much. But I'm going to be safe up in here now.
Yeah.
The wisdom. I ain't going to lie to you about it. I'm about to leave and mask up, go get them ribs over there at that place. Get the ribs. I ain't going to lie to you. Joe, can you believe? Let me change this. Okay, dang, we ain't on the air right now, Joe. You know I'm lying, Joe. Joe, I put some gas in my car. The first of March, I still get that same gas in my car. That's how much I've been driving. So I ain't going nowhere. Where am I going? You ain't getting a haircut. Ain't nobody doing hair but the morticians and nails. So I ain't going nowhere, Joe. But I ain't gonna the other day, Joe. The barber came to the garage, kind of hooked me up a little home service. God bless you, you get a little happy, a little cool right there.
You gotta go bald like me, bro.
Now, Joe, you talking too much now. I done gave you an interview now. You talking about I'm not doing it. I see a little hairline still there, Joe. Thank y'all so very much. I appreciate y'all. Joe Smith himself, there's his email, there's his Instagram. Thanks for joining us. Thank you so much for being the best in Joe. And we'll see y'all again from Hollywood, California. Brother Steve and the one and only Joe Smith survived the coronavirus. And we thank God for you. God bless you. Share this video with somebody else and let's be an encouragement. God bless.
Bless you.